All right, today we're going to start our finals review. We're going to start with Chapter 7, which was right triangles and trigonometry. So let's remember, first of all, the three main ratios that we learned in this chapter: sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine is equal to the opposite leg from the angle divided by the hypotenuse. Cosine is the adjacent leg to the angle divided by the hypotenuse. And tangent is the opposite leg divided by the adjacent leg. Also, we have an angle of depression and an angle of elevation. Remember, those are always congruent, and they're always next to a horizontal line. So number one, we're just asked to fill in the 6 trig functions based off this triangle over here, looking at angle B. So this angle up here. All right, so the sine of that angle is opposite over hypotenuse, 12 over 13. And remember that the reciprocal of sine is called the cosecant, so the cosecant is 13 over 12. Cosine of that angle is adjacent over hypotenuse, so 5 over 13. And the reciprocal of cosine is secant, so 13 over 5. And the tangent of that angle is opposite over adjacent, so 12 over 5. And the reciprocal of tangent is cotangent, so 5 over 12. For these next 4 problems, we're going to set up a trig function and solve it. So for number 8, we're looking at angle 36. X is the adjacent leg, 8 is the hypotenuse, so we're going to go cosine. Cosine of 36 equals adjacent leg over hypotenuse. Remember, when the variable is in the denominator like this, we're going to multiply both sides, so it's going to be 8 cosine 36 equals x. And we go ahead and type that in our calculator, and we get x is approximately 6.47. Sorry, to the nearest tenth, so 6.5. Number 9, we're looking at x, opposite leg over hypotenuse, that's sine. So sine of x equals 4 over 6. When we're looking for an angle, remember we always want to use inverse. So it's going to be x equals sine inverse 4 over 6. And that's what we're going to type into our calculator. Second sine, so sine inverse of 4 over 6. And that equals 41.8 degrees. Remember, to get the sine inverse, you're going to hit second and then sine. If you're not getting these answers, you're probably not in degree mode. So make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Number 10, looking at 70, so opposite leg over adjacent leg. So this one's tangent. We got tangent of 70 equals 7.2 over y. When the variable's in the denominator, we divide. So it's going to be y equals 7.2 over tan 70. So type in 7.2 over tan 70, and we get that y is approximately 2.6. And number 11, looking at x, opposite over hypotenuse. So that's again going to be sine. So sine of x equals 24 over 25. Remember, when we're looking for an angle, we use inverse. So x equals sine inverse 24 over 25. So sine inverse 24 divided by 25. X is approximately 73.7 degrees. Number 12, same thing. We got to draw our own picture this time, though. So we have a diver on the edge of a diving board that is 10 meters high. He looks down in the water and sees his opponent right here. Here's our right triangle. The angle of depression is 28. How far is the opponent from the base of the diving board? So that's x there. And remember, the angle of elevation and depression are congruent. So this is also 28. So now we can write our equation, opposite over adjacent. So it's going to be tangent 28 equals 10 over x. X equals 10 over tan 28. And x is approximately 18.8 meters. If I'm going a little bit too fast for you, remember, you could always pause this video, or you go back and rewind it again to make sure that you're getting what I'm getting. All right, number 13, a ladder is leaning against a house. So we have the ground here and the house. That's not a very good house. Let's try that again. There we go. And we have a ladder. The house is 12 feet high. The angle the ladder makes with the ground is 52 degrees. How long is the ladder? So looking at this, we have opposite leg and hypotenuse. That's going to be sine. So sine 52 equals 12 over x. When the x is in the bottom like this, we are going to divide. So x equals 12 over sine 52. 12 divided by sine 52. In our calculator, x is going to be approximately 15.2 feet. All right, number 14, we have a wheelchair ramp 25 feet long. So we have a ramp, it's 25 feet long. It rises 3 feet vertically. What is the angle between the ramp and the horizontal? So for this one here, we have opposite over hypotenuse. That's sine, so sine of x equals 3 over 25, but we're looking for an angle, so it's going to be x equals sine inverse 3 over 25. So type that in, sine inverse 3 over 25. And we get approximately 6.9 degrees. All right, the last one here, 15. Before we do 15, let's reduce this fraction to lowest terms. Cosine of theta is going to be 5 over 13. Okay, reducing that 10 over 26 to 5 over 13. Now we're going to try to fill in these other 5 functions here. Well, first of all, if the cosine is 5/13, we know its reciprocal secant is 13 over 5. All right, now if we draw our triangle out, and put theta here, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, and then to get this side over here, let's call it y. We're going to do 5 squared plus y squared equals 13 squared. And if you do that correctly, you're going to end up getting y equals 12. So now the sine of theta would be 12 over 13. And the cosecant is 13 over 12. And the tangent would be 12 over 5. Opposite over adjacent. And its reciprocal cotangent would be 5 over 12. Okay, that's it for our Chapter 7 review. Feel free to go back and watch this video again if you need a little bit more explanation. And now you can open up the Chapter 7 practice and work on those problems.